Hello friends, in this video I would like to share with you what I've learned in Swift about functions. We'll talk about functions, parameters, retain functions, and throwing functions. So let's get started. Okay, functions. Let's say we have made some code with some loops like this one. And it has a variable, it has constant, and we want to repeat it again and again and use it in another part of program or even another program. So the best way to do this is to convert it to function. Then we can recall the function whenever we want. For example, let's say we have this code that calculates the even numbers in a sort of range of integer numbers. So we have a variable, we have a for loop, if condition, and printing command. Every time we want to change the range, okay, we have to write another one, or we have to change it manually this way. Here functions come handy. Let's write how we convert this into function. So we write func from function, even, then the name of the function, let's say even counting. Then we write inside the parameters. We'll come to discuss more about parameters later on. Range, and we specify the type of this parameter with integer, for example. Then we open the function and we put the function of the function, how the function should work inside this for. So we have this for loop, yeah, into the range. So every time we enter a new range, it will be automatically changed inside. If even number, okay, 2, all right, 0, continue means skip, then print even number. Okay, let's check if anything goes wrong or something. Yeah, everything is okay. So for our example, yeah, see now it has been executed 2, 4, 6, 8 exactly. Actually, this result comes out from this, which is our loop code, but the function it doesn't start it yet because we didn't recall it. So if we want to recall the function, yeah, we write the name, which is counting exactly, then automatically it will go straight forward to the parameter. So let's say we have 10 or 100. Start. Yeah, it has been executed for 50 times. The function has been run for 50 times, and there are the output. All are even numbers. Okay, parameters. Parameters are the inputs of any function. They are constant and cannot be changed. They can be any of the known data type like integer, boolean, or string. And they have types, which I think is the most important part in parameters, the type of the parameters. We'll go in different types with example. For example, let's say we have this function which calculates the time stable for a given number integer. So we specify a variable inside as integer, then for loop okay, for calculating 10 1 by 1 1 by 2 like this, and we put the equation times y, then print it this way. So calling this function with calculate example 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. In this example, we have one parameter only. Okay, and this parameter is an integer. And how we specify this? By adding this colon. Now we'll take another example. X times y, two numbers. Okay, x times y, let's say. So now here we need two parameters. First number colon as integer, and the second number colon also integer. What the function has to do, just print the multiplication. First number times second number. So if we call, first number, let's say 5, second is 5, execute. What happened? What happened? It's calculate right, but it didn't print out. I need to check this, but anyway, the idea is in this example we have two parameters, so two inputs, we can say two constant, specified by column and separated by comma. Okay, let's say we have this function feeding array, which what it does actually, it stores, let's say like this, it stores series of integer numbers into an array. Okay, so the input has to be multiple input fashion. Numbers, not number actually, now we have a numbers column integer. So if we want to tell Swift that this input is multiple, we just put 3 dots like this. So variable Ario, let's say, I love this name. The Ario is integer, our empty. We specify now an empty array, integer. Then for number, in numbers, what shall I do? Shall insert the number inside this Ario specified array. Then after, print the array, print Ario. Okay, Let's now execute it. Let's call it first. Okay. Feeding array 1. See, it tells you what range you want to add, what's the numbers you want to add. 20, and so on. Let's try this series of numbers. Execute. Exactly, the numbers has been inserted in an array and printed out. Now to make it even easier, okay, there is a type of parameter that can be even an array itself. So let's try this function. Count multiples of 10, for example. Numbers, again, array this time, integer. So the input is integer. Now the function also can return an output. Not necessarily has to be printed out, but it can return an output, and this returned output can be stored in any other way we want to do. In order to tell Swift that this function has a return output, we specify this using this small arrow. Then we specify the type, data type of the output. Our example is integer. So we'll call this result to store the output in a variable. Then the loop, number in numbers. Yeah, what shall I do? If number remainder of 10 equal 0, okay, means it can be divided on 10. So result, add the value to result. Then after you finish, return result this way. So let's try to run this, run it out. Open the brackets for array, and we enter the array items. Now let's see what would happen when we execute it. Okay, now here we don't have any output because we don't have any printing. What we have is just a return value, which is this. Now what is 2? 2 is the number of items or numbers in the array that can be divided over 10, which is 70, 60. So in this array we have only 2 numbers that can be divided over 10, which is correct. Okay, another parameter type, we call it label parameter. It has a label actually. Let's see this. Let's try a function that set an age, okay, for a person. So we call it set age. Now here we must write the parameter name or number or whatever. So see this, watch this, for person, then comma. So we have two separate parts of this parameter, and we will come to explanation of this. Then let's say this time that the type of this parameter is string, then another labeled one, value, integer. So we'll ask this function to print the value of person, yeah, is now, let's say, value, yeah. So see that in this parameter label, it has external and internal part. The external for external usage, the internal part for internal usage, and we cannot swap this out. It won't work. So let's say I want to set an age for Ali to what, 28. Let's see what would happen. Exactly, Ali is now 28. So I have used, for running the function, the external part of the labeled parameter. Alright, throwing functions. In some cases, functions throw errors for some internal issues or unrecognized inputs. Swift allows us to throw that error using a throwing mechanism or throwing functions like this. Let's say we have first to describe the error that would be output from throwing functions, and that happen using enum. So let's say we have this house error as error. So the data type actually here is not integer, it's not string, it is error. So high price, for example. Another case of error is low price, for example, just seeking the example. So here we have described there. Now the function itself, finding house price, okay, and let's specify parameters with location string, then price as integer. Then we tell Swift, hey Swift, this is a throwing function, so we write here throws. Okay, now we'll build a Swift we will build a switch case here. Switch price, yeah, then case. So if the price is in the range of 0 to 100 K maybe, yeah, then throw an error. What error it should be? Buy house error, high price or low price. So this one is low price. Now in case, okay, it is between 101 to 200, for example. So print good price. Now don't forget there must be a default in a switch. The default, if not, the default means the inputs are not in the even any range. So throw maybe high price this time. Error, house error, high price. Okay, now This is the form of a throwing function, but as you see, we have first described an error in enum. This is the form of throwing function. Recalling a throwing function is a tricky one, as Swift does not allow us for calling a function that has any option of errors. So it actually asks us to try it first. Yes, like this. Do try. Do try. Find so and so. For example, what LA price, what, for example, 50. Now so do try. If there is an error, catch it. Okay, if there is an error, catch it and print an error, for example, error, or an error happens, or any sort of command you want. Good price. So what happens here? We have recalled the function using LA as a location and 150 as price. Now the 150, it goes in the switch as price. The price has been compared in this range. It's not. It goes again to the another case. Yes, it is here. So it generate this command, print good price. So actually we don't have an error here. That's why it didn't make any error. Now let's make an error. Let's call this 300. Boom, error. What happens here? 300 goes to this case, no. This case, no. So it goes to the default. Default told you throw high price. So it is an error. So it is goes to catch tail, execute an error. Okay, friends, that's all for now. I have created for you a free quiz that tests your understanding and summarize this concept. Just you need to sign up in the description below. I hope the picture is clear. In case of any comment, please let me know. Stay tuned and bye.